you don't think it matters what adult beverage you consume. In that case, next time you go to watch a game with your boys, order a glass of champagne at the bar. Watching the game at your house? Would anyone say anything if one of your friends brought a box of White Zinfandel to share? Got a first date at a nice restaurant with that girl you've been crushing on. When the server approaches, make sure you order an appletini and see how the night ends. You might as well just tell her you're a vegan whose favorite sport is figure skating. Good news, your friends probably don't suck, so they will order or bring over a good beer or a decent bourbon. You'll probably order a bottle of good wine at that dinner, because you're no fool. Dirk and Will are here to guide you through what to drink and when to drink it. Without further ado, welcome back to Men's Town, where we solve all the world's important problems.
All right, so here's how it kind of, in my world, here's how I rank you drinking, okay?
Okay.
So what I want to leave out is college. Anytime college or before. So let's say you're a grown man. You're in Men's Town and you're drinking and you bring over some drinks, which you don't need to do. I got them, but you bring them over because you're being polite, right? So if you come in with a natural light, we're gonna have some work to do to be friends.
I'm asking why you bothered.
Right.
Like if you bring natural light into my home, like
I assume your kids had a party and you caught them.
Is this a joke?
Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm 47 years old. There should be no natural light. If you bring a Miller Light or a Bud, I get that.
It better be the Super Bowl.
A lot of people, that's what they drink. Yeah, like that's just kind of their go-to, right? And I get that. Like from a cheap beer standpoint, doesn't mean I drink MGD, as you know. And that's kind of nostalgia. Like it's Miller Genuine Draft. It's kind of hard to find. Obviously.
I was going to say, can you get MGD anymore?
Yeah, you can get it at Walmart or Total Wine or Buffalo Wild Wings.
Tap into the cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
So you got that. Then you've got, to me, IPA drinkers. And these are, when I say IPA, that could be a firm stout. That could be a very expensive beer. It's 4 beers for $24. You know, you've got it.
Sorry.
That's all right. So you've got 4 IPAs, and it just cost you $250.
So when you say IPA, you're not talking about IPAs. You're talking about any fancy schmancy craft beer. Dude, we went to a tasting yesterday at Four Hands. Shout out to Four Hands, and it was their Madagascar release, which is this huge vanilla porter.
Okay.
And they do like it's for you. It's an IPA, and they do like 4 different takes on it. Like one was like chocolate and almond, one was like orange and something else, and one was I can't remember what the other one is. But they were delicious. But they were this big.
Right.
I drank 4 of them, and then I was up.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So that's where I go next. So I go basically, you're in college to you drink domestic beer, which is kind of go-to beers for everybody. And I don't look down upon those people. IPA, porter, is that what it's called? What are you drinking?
Port.
Or, anything heavy. I call them heavy beers. They're beers that have been made in smaller batches by local breweries. Things of that nature. Those kind of people are next. Now, before them, 6 to 8 years ago, I would have put you drink white wine before fancy beer. Now I put you drink white wine after that. So you're moving up in my chart if you drink white wine, and I see it's like a really creamy Chardonnay. I get it now. I didn't used to get it. I was like, white wine, like White Zen or something. No, that's college. It's like it's Moons, or they even make boxes of wine now that aren't horrible.
Yeah, that's actually true, man. That's actually true.
It's not what it used to be. So if you're drinking white wine, and it's a good one, you're next.
Yeah, I'll put a good white wine drinker above any flavor of beer drinker.
Absolutely. After that, I go with anybody who's drinking basically clear liquor. So a good vodka, a good tequila. They're not the same, but for the purposes of this particular thing that we're doing here for this project, they are the same. So tequila, there's some tequilas now you just drink neat. They're delicious. Or on the rocks. It's not the days of Jose Cuervo, where you're just kind of, you smell it and you go, ugh.
Eat the worm, baby. Eat the worm.
Eat the worm. So you've got that next, and then those who drink, a vodka soda, something like that. That's fine. Whatever you want to do there, or you're gonna have a martini. Now you're kind of talking up. After that, I go with red wine. I go with like people who know a shitload about cabs, because those people are invested. And
those people like if you like, I love a red wine, and I have my own very, very small cadre of red wines that are my go-tos that I feel good about. But the people who are into red wine, like,
they know what's up.
Hats off, man. Hats off. Like you've invested time and money into this.
There are people that come over here, or I go to their house, and generally, if somebody says, would you rather have? We got Scotch and wine. I'll take the Scotch. There are people that know what they're doing. I'm like, I'll have the wine.
Yeah. It depends on the house.
Take your wine. Yeah, it depends on the house. So red wine. After that, you've got bourbon people. To me, are next. Bourbon is and I'm not talking about somebody who gets a Jack and Coke, because that's probably where I started with bourbon, was a Jack and Coke. I'm sure I was in my 20s and somebody said try that, and I'm like, that's okay with Coke.
I'm moving highballs beneath white wine, and I'm putting them above fancy beer. Okay,
so that's fair enough.
Like that's highball territory. That's gin and tonics. That's whiskey and Coke at 7 and 7. That's highballs go right there. That's where they
right. Yeah. That's a good call. And then you've got bourbon drinkers, and these are people who drink it neat or drink it on the rocks. Specifically, if you've got a big ice cube, I put you higher. I'm kidding. I think if you're just going to drink neat bourbon, you know what you're doing. Like, to me, you don't just come in and go, you don't order that. Or if I say, how do you want a bourbon? And you look at me and go, yeah, you got any Coke? Okay, you're down below with the highballs. But if you look at me, yeah, sure. What do you got? And you pick the right one. Like, if you pick my second best bourbon, you're in my tight friend group, because you didn't want to be so impolite as to go, I want the Wellers. But that's the only reason I get it, is to drink it with people I want to drink it with. You probably looked at me and said, yeah, I'll take Angel's Envy or Bullet, or something like that. I'll take your bourbon.
I would have gone straight to the Wellers, man.
Yeah, well, my best friend, so you should.
Yeah, no shame. I have zero shame in that.
Yeah, and if I know you're drinking bourbon and you decide you'll have that, oh yeah, I'll take. You got Angels there, I'll take that. And then I'm like, you sure? I'm having Wellers. I'm having the Blanton. You sure you don't want some of that? And then, okay, yeah, I'm in Macallan. I'm having this Macallan Reserve, because that's a thing I keep. That'd be nice if I did. And then after that, I have actual. This is true story. This is how you know I'm a country club guy now. Actual champagne drinkers.
Fancy.
So, not Prosecco, not sparkling wine. They go down with the white wine drinkers, maybe just before them, little bit lower Prosecco is than that. But when you're having French champagne, and if you've never had it, folks, it's a different situation. It is great.
Like, we could do a conversation around like champagnes. Like, I'm a huge fan of the Veuve, man. Like, I like Veuve Clicquot. I like Veuve Clicquot above Dom Perignon. I like it. I just like it better.
Yeah, Dom is the Pappy Van Winkle of champagne. Great marketing.
Still good. Great stories. Great stories.
Great stories. Yeah. And a great gift. And then at the top of my list is Scotch.
I love Scotch. I love Scotch. Scotchy, Scotch, Scotch. Here it goes down into my belly.
Thanks for hanging out in Men's Town with us. Hope you see us on our next video. Cheers to everybody.
Cheers. Have a good drink.